Hey everyone, as you can see, I have a Chiappa firearms box right here. There's a few revolvers that I have on my wants list. One of them is still the Colt Python Combat Elite. The other one is a Smith & Wesson M&P R8, possibly the TRR8, which is just the Performance Center version of it. There's a couple of things I like on one versus the other, so that's kind of a toss-up. The third one is a Chiappa Rhino. I've been looking for this gun for a little bit now. I have seen them, but they were at pretty much MSRP, a couple just a little bit above it. And this particular model is one that I haven't seen as much. The ones I keep running into are the short one, the 20DS, and the 30DS. The reason I don't like those, one, the 20 looks like it's just chopped. It looks like it's missing half of the gun. The 30 doesn't have that little Picatinny piece on the bottom, which I think is important for the whole Rhino look. Without that, I don't think it looks like a Rhino, maybe a dehorned one. It just doesn't look like a Rhino. The other one that I do like, but it's not the one that I want, is the 60DS, which is the 6-inch version. A lot of those are customized. They'll have like the Quinn model, the one from the Joker. They have the Nebula and other just kind of weird designs that I'm not a fan of. So I was looking at the local forums because those typically don't have those extra custom ones, and I ran across one. And this is the 40DS and not the 9mm one. That's another thing. When I did see it online, I looked closer and it was the 9mm version, which I didn't want. So I was able to pick this up at a really good price. The individual not only gave it to me at a good price, but went even lower because I drove out to go pick it up, and it was a little over a 2-hour drive each way. But it was worth getting just because, again, it wasn't something I kept running into. And since I did say I was going to be buying any more firearms, what I did was sell off a couple of firearms that I have and essentially just kind of swapped it out. Again, that's my rationale. I'm sticking to it. So I didn't have to pay out of my own funds. I just sold what I had, consolidated those, and purchased this, which of course also clears up space in my safe. Two guns, now I have one. This is the Chiappa Rhino 40DS, as I mentioned. It's a really nice gun. It's in like new condition. If it has any little blemishes, that was from me uh, checking it out when I picked it up. Didn't have a real good chance to look. I was chatting with the person selling it to me and how they came about it and all of that. This thing has hardly been shot, just like he indicated, and it shows. This, I wasn't sure what this was because I didn't know what tools it came with. I thought maybe a cylinder or something. But no, it is just the lock. Still in the bag, still untouched. I actually like this lock if you are going to be like a new gun owner who wants to use one. I just think these are easier to take on and off. I'm not a fan. One of the plastic ones, they're going to break. It's just not even worth putting on. And they have that little unique key with the two little prongs. And the ones with the cable, they're just annoying. This is simple. I might use this on something I'm putting away that I just don't want anyone to have access to. And I think the only time I would do that is if it's a gun that has an issue. Maybe it's broken, maybe I'm working on it, took out a piece, maybe I'm waiting for I don't know, an upgraded trigger or something to come in and I just don't want to be using it. That's a good way to kind of put it out of service. And here, it does have the literature. I didn't notice this till just now when I opened it. And it does have the brush. It does have whatever that is. Again, I haven't really looked at it, so I'm not sure what that would be. Looks maybe like a chamber flag or something. I'm not sure. And one, two. I believe it said it had three somewhere for these right here. I'm at a loss for words. I know what they're called. I just can't. It's not coming to me right now. But this is two. Maybe I misread that. Wherever it was, I saw it. I'm not sure where it was, but I thought it had three for not the speed loaders, but the moon clips. There you go. For the moon clips. And of course, this is the manual. I'm just checking to see in case the moon clip happened to slide in there. I could be wrong. It might have just come with two, but I thought I saw somewhere that it had three moon clips. But if not, well, there are the two right there. And this is just some of the safety information that comes with it. Nothing really that I'd be looking at. I'll check this out. And these are the common models that I kept seeing. The shorter one, the longer one. This is the one in the middle. And I'm not sure what this is for. Again, I'm new to the Chiappa. I'm not really big on revolvers. I just like a few of them, but I haven't disassembled one or anything like that, so I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on it. I just know what I like to shoot. I like to, what I like to look at. So this is it. It still has that little Chiappa band. I don't know why I don't feel the need to take these off. I think my H&K still has it. It just doesn't bother me, and it's there. And I know some people want to rip it right off, but again, doesn't do anything. Plus, I think it makes it look new. So a few things on this that I wasn't aware of. This cylinder release is a little different for the placement. I'm not used to that. I'm used to having them up here. I've seen some that are like a push style, the push button style, and then you have the little levers like the Smith & Wessons. You kind of push front. This is a little different. You pull down, and it's a lot farther back than I'm used to. And the cylinder, it does look, I know on camera maybe it doesn't look the same, but it looks pretty thin from the actual where the cartridge loads to the edge of the cylinder. Obviously it doesn't affect it. I've never heard of anyone having issues with these, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. That's just a little dirty. Again, it is used, but in great condition. It looks like they've never really messed with this. If they did take it to the range, maybe when they got it, and that's about it. Everything on it's wonderful, and you do see the little loaded indicator on there. Another thing I thought was a little unusual when I was kind of just looking at it is the hammer. This isn't like a normal hammer, just the way it looks in general. It's wider, it's flat. I'm used to seeing them kind of curved, thinner, and maybe with just the end just kind of spread out a little bit wide, but the whole stem of it is usually pretty thin. There you go, you saw the cylinder turn. And this is unusual as well. So this isn't like a true hammer. It's more like a lever that maybe pushes an internal hammer. It reminds me of like the 442 Smith & Wessons, where it's got that little nub you just kind of pull down. I think it's the 442 that has the nub. Maybe I'm thinking of the 638. But in either case, it's not a true hammer. It like flips, locks everything in. Now it's in single action. But this doesn't do anything. As you can see, the little indicator is up. And the trigger on the single action is extremely light. I'm going to measure it with my gauge in a minute. But that feels like a 2-pound trigger. Most triggers that I felt in single action are definitely 3.5. You could feel the firmness as you're pulling back. This one, as soon as I start, it goes off. So I think that's pretty cool. Can't wait to shoot this. The double action, it's not overly heavy. It's, I would say, lighter than my Beretta M9A3. And it also isn't very heavy. It's very smooth. This is extremely smooth. I love the way the trigger shoe fits. It's wide. It's kind of convex versus concave, so it just has a slight bow to it, starting in the center. At least that's the way it feels in my fingers, like the edges kind of round out a little bit down, but it feels extremely comfortable. And I don't feel like I needed to have any stippling or anything for grip. Like on some revolvers, I feel like it would benefit it if it had something to really kind of bite into the finger. This one, because it's flat, relatively light, and very smooth, I don't think it needs anything like that. So this is a really cool looking gun. Again, I'm very, very happy that I got this gun. I don't miss the other guns that I got rid of. I have very similar guns. I try not to have too many that are a little bit too close, because I feel at that point I'm not really getting a good selection. I just have a bunch of the same repetitive firearms. And it does have this the fiber optic sight on the front here. It's not red, it's like an orange color. I think the camera shows it pretty good there. But you can remove this, switch it out for a different color. I might do that, I'm not sure. I'm going to shoot it, see how I like it. Maybe it works out to the point I just don't want to mess with it. It does have these rear green colored fiber optics. It is adjustable, so I think that's actually good. A lot of revolvers don't have that option. Like my Henry doesn't have that option. It's got gutter sights. My Smith & Wesson, pretty much the same thing. You're lining it up and shooting it, but this is a 4-inch, so I do want to take aim with this. And I think just having those adjustable is very helpful. I'm really happy, like I said, with the overall look of the gun. It's one that I've admired, and I kind of held off on getting just because of the cost and the lack of knowledge on revolvers. With anything, I don't want to spend a lot of money if I'm not very familiar with it. Once I get familiar with it, then I'll be more willing to, put some money towards it. So I'm going to be shooting this in the next few days. I have some 357 Magnum, but I believe all I have is hollow point ammunition. So I will probably wait to get just standard ammo. Some full metal jacket, standard 158 grain. Most of them are anyway. And see how it shoots. I will, of course, still shoot it with hollow points as well. I don't see it having issues. It's not like it has feeding problems like, semi-automatics with a feed ramp, since these just pop into the cylinder. I am going to look to see if there's any sort of aftermarket little lever for that. It works. There's nothing wrong with it. But I do like the idea of having this just be a little bit wider, or maybe just a different shape where this is just a little bit smoother. So yep, that is the 40DS Chiappa Rhino. And aside from being very happy with the gun, just because it is the one that I've been looking for, same color, same everything. I didn't like the black one, the Hulk green one, none of those. I'm very, very happy with the price. I got this about $350 off of the normal price I'd been seeing everywhere. So thank goodness for Texas private sales. You don't have to worry about shipping, taxes, waiting. And if you get along well with the other person, many people are willing to drop the prices. They want to see you take home, a new gun and be happy with it. And they obviously want the money. So it works out for both parties. So very happy for that. Again, I will do videos shooting this gun in the next few days, and we'll see how it goes.